All right, it's time for the TexAgs Rewind, and joining me at the desk is none other than Jamie Mari. Jamie, what was your favorite moment of the show today?
My favorite moment of the show today was when Billy had zero idea how Elf on the Shelf works. He was talking about going to Colorado and hiding out. What is he hiding? Who is he hiding from?
Richard?
Okay, but that's not just not how it works.
That's not how Elf on the Shelf works?
No. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to.
Did you have an Elf on the Shelf as a kid?
I did, but not like the actual like branded Elf on the Shelf. It was a different one. And my mom named it something odd like Elfina or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did she wear like a Fritos t-shirt or something?
No, but she would break into the Fritos bag.
No, understandable. All right, today on the Rewind, me and OB talked for a little bit. We've got Joni Taylor ahead of her matchup with South Carolina later this week. Around Aggieland with Richard Zane and Billy Liucci talking portal and signing day and stuff. Enjoy the Rewind. Cowboys got it done against the Eagles. How about that?
Yeah, it was a game I enjoyed the result.
Boy, I wish they hadn't lost to Jacksonville.
And the Packers. The 2 games they've lost in overtime. They had double-digit leads in the second half, and they've squandered them away. I think as much as I'm a fan of Dak Prescott. I always advocated for them drafting him and argued with Stephen McGee about him. But Dak's going to do 2 or 3.
Who was that LSU quarterback that McGee fell in love with? Was it Danny Etling?
Yes. But Dak's going to do 2 or 3 boneheaded things a game. Now, fortunately, they didn't. He overcame the first one, which was a pick 6, and fortunately, the defense saved him for the last 2, which when he ran out of bounds and saved the Eagles a timeout, and he then took a sack when they were like inside the 5. When just throw the ball away, right?
Yeah.
But maybe taking the sack was the right thing to do because it made the Eagles use a timeout. But anyway, the point is he did make a couple of boneheaded plays. But the Cowboys won. And what does frustrate me though is when you hear the Cowboy haters. They come at me on Twitter a lot and they say, "Well, yeah, you beat a team with a backup quarterback." I'm like, yeah. Well, it seems to me so did the Eagles when they beat the Cowboys.
All right, and then no rest for the weary. Who did you upset in Birmingham, Coach? Starting on the road at number 1 South Carolina, your first SEC game as the head coach at Texas A&M. Do we need to go talk to somebody in Birmingham about that? That's not the way you should have drawn that one up.
No, you know what? I actually am excited about it, right? It's an opportunity for us to not only play against the number 1 team in our conference, but the number 1 team in the country. And I'd rather do that the first game of the year in conference play to know exactly where we are against the very best and go back to the coaching lab, go back to the lab from there versus seeing them in February or seeing them at the end. I mean, why not play against the best right away? That gives us a lot of time to use that game to have teaching moments as we get ready to go into the rest of our conference play. So I'm actually very excited that we play them first.
What are some challenges that South Carolina will present, not only for you, but any team that they play? Obviously, Coach Staley's got a great track record, a great program, number 1 in the country for a reason going into this matchup.
Yeah, well, obviously, I mean, her roster is loaded with talent. And, she can sub all 5 out and put a new 5 in, and all those 5 that come off the bench could be starting anywhere in the country. So she's got a great roster. She does an excellent job of moving her people around. And the thing I'll say is that everybody's back. They lost 1 starter in Destiny Henderson, and outside of that, her entire team returns, and she added new pieces that are talented along with it. Where they get you is they just have the ability to go get offensive rebounds. Like, it's not the first shot. It's not the second shot. It's the fact that they get 2, 3, and 4 chances in one possession. And so they just kill you on the offensive glass. And then defensively, they're so sound, and they've got Aaliyah Boston back there to protect the rim. And then when she's not in, they got Camila Mendoza that is taller than Aaliyah Boston that protects the rim. So it's challenging to score against them. You've got to be really strategic about trying to pull their bigs away from the basket and, be smart about how you get to the rim and take shots. And then you've got to do a yeoman's job on the board, when they're on offense, boxing them out, because their first shot is not what beats you. It is their second and third attempts from those offensive rebounds. And then if we don't take disciplined shots, that's the word I'm going to use. If we don't take disciplined shots, then they take our bad shots turn those into transition opportunities. And so we've got to be able to slow them down and force them into a half-court game and try to limit their offensive rebounds.
I'm holding my headphones like this because Olin's it's turned up so loud because the old man can't hear. Love you, OB.
Hey, what's going on around Aggieland? Presented by Norman G. State, Rock Solid Banking, normangstatebank.com.
You did that read without looking at it. I'm very impressed. Recruiting last week, right, was the beginning of the early signing period. 16 players signed on Wednesday. There was a little bit of quote-unquote drama regarding David Hicks, but he signed on Friday morning just like he said he would. So that brought A&M's signing class up to 17. They're still waiting on the signature of Samu Taumampepe. Did I say that name correctly? Probably not. He's planning to sign on his birthday, which is the day before mine. Dalton, do you know my birthday?
January 24th.
Which means Samu signs on when?
January 23rd.
You're so good. Look at you, Dalton. And also
I'm good
in
with
recruiting
numbers.
news. Yeah, you're good with numbers, and I'm good with money. Olin just texted me and said that he heard that. Sorry, OB, love you.
Well, yeah, everybody heard it. The headphones are that loud.
Also in recruiting news, out of the transfer portal, A&M got its first addition in cornerback Tony Grimes from North Carolina. Former five-star recruit in the class of 2022, Grimes played in 32 games for the Tar Heels, making 74 tackles, forcing one fumble, and intercepting one pass during his time in Chapel Hill.
They had to get him, Dalton. They had to. For all the D linemen they signed last year, David Hicks is as good as any of them. And I just think that the substance that goes with the person that goes with the player, the work ethic, we always talk about. You always talk about coaches' sons at quarterback, but any position. And this guy, as hard as he plays for as talented as he is, it's rare you see that in a five-star D lineman. So it's almost like he's like a five-star plus because it's the talent plus the motor plus the desire to get better plus all the off-field stuff. He checks every box. And to have him committed that long in a class like this where they kind of were rallying at the end to get back up there, you had to keep him. You couldn't afford to lose him to an Oklahoma or an upstart like Oregon. There were some ties to Oregon and that old staff that was here, so they would have been extra salt in the wound. They had a bunch of momentum, and it obviously would have been really bad to watch OU get Peyton Bowen and then him back-to-back. So it's always important to keep them from going somewhere else, but just as significant to go out and land and what I think is an instant impact player, even on this defensive line, even with all this depth, even returning starters. I still think Hicks walks in from day one and has an instant impact, much like Leal did, much like you go back to these five-star, Dalen Mack, a little less talent up front when he got here, but then you look at DeMarvin Leal, you look at McKinley Jackson had an immediate impact. I'm forgetting a couple of them, but along the way, there was like a streak of several in a row. And last year, obviously, with all, like 4 of them had a pretty significant impact day one. Hicks walks in and makes a difference. I don't care how talented your room is.
When you look at it, I was talking with Olin earlier. It's almost, is there a position group that's more talented than that defensive line group right now on the team?
No, not even close. It's not even up for debate.
All right, that'll do it for the rewind. Jamie, can you tell everybody what they're supposed to do?
Like, subscribe, follow, watch the whole video.
And
watch
hey,
it again.
DM it to Cavan's dad.
Yes.
Find him on Twitter. DM it to him.
Yep.
I don't know why not.
Why not?
Grow the show, bro. All right, we'll see y'all later.